Legal Eagle in the air.
I wish I had enough poison for the whole pack of you. I would gladly give my life to watch you all swallow it.
I haven't seen that in court, but generally that's not a great strategy. Hey Legal Eagles, it's time to think like a lawyer. Today we are covering the trial of Tyrion from Game of Thrones. Like a lot of you out there, I am waiting for the series finale. But in the meantime, let's take a look back at one of the more famous repercussions of the Purple Wedding, which is the trial of Tyrion Lannister, who is framed for the murder of King Joffrey.
He's choking!
It's been a long time since I've seen this, so I'll be looking at it with fresh eyes, but it'll be interesting to see how realistic the trial scene is compared to American modern jurisprudence. As always, leave your comments in the form of an objection, which I will either sustain or overrule, and stick around until the end of the video, where I give Game of Thrones a grade for legal realism. So, without further ado, let's dig in to the trial of Tyrion Lannister. So here, Tyrion is being held in captivity by the equivalent of the police in King's Landing. To recap, King Joffrey was killed on his wedding day by some sort of gruesome poison, and because of many of the statements that Tyrion made to and about the king, he is being accused of actually killing King Joffrey, which of course is not in fact true. Nonetheless, he's being held in captivity and is being accused of the crime of regicide. All right, the sort of Game of Thrones equivalent of the perp walk, being walked into court. So this is a pretty unusual court. All of the people in the audience, generally called the gallery, almost always you have it being perpendicular to the actual place where the judge sits. Here, you have these long rows going toward where the judge is going to sit. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense as a courtroom. Obviously, this is a great hall where usually official business is conducted, but this doesn't make a whole lot of sense as a courtroom. Generally speaking, the accused don't have to wear handcuffs when they're in court, unless there is some known reason why they have to be restrained, like they are known to have outbursts in court, or they jump across counsel table and try and attack the judge or the prosecutor, which has been known to happen. But otherwise, for obvious reasons, you don't want to poison the mind of the jury and see this person as some sort of animal that has to be chained up. You want them to get a fair hearing, so generally criminal defendants are not locked up when they're in court. You would generally rise when the judge arrives as well.
I, Tommen of the House Baratheon, first of my name, King of the Andals and the First Men, and Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, do hereby recuse myself from this trial. Tywin of the House Lannister, Hand of the King, Protector of the Realm, will sit as judge in my stead.
So in the US, you have a constitutional right to a jury trial, and that jury must be made up of your peers. Now, query in the sort of royal house who would be the peers that would sit in judgment over a nobleman like Tyrion Lannister, but you can also see that it is a clear conflict of interest for one of the three members of the panel or jury that's going to decide your fate to be a member of your own house. Here you can imagine prejudice going both ways. There could be prejudice because his father may want him to face execution because of how much he loved Joffrey, his grandchild, or you could imagine that he could get leniency because he's a member of the same family.
Tyrion of the House Lannister. You stand accused by the Queen Regent of regicide. Did you kill King Joffrey?
No,
Did your wife, the Lady Sansa?
not that I know of.
That's a fair response. He may not know whether his wife committed homicide or not. You would have to ask her, so that would be speculation for him to talk about whether his wife killed King Joffrey.
How would you say he died, then?
Choked on his pigeon pie.
So you would blame the bakers?
Or the pigeons, just leave me out of it.
I should note here that there are already several problems from an American law perspective. Number one, if this was in America, Tyrion would be given the right against self-incrimination under the Fifth Amendment, which would allow him to not have to testify against himself in a criminal proceeding. And already the adjudicator has asked him several questions that could be incriminating towards his defense, and he would have the right not to take the stand and not to have to answer those questions. But I don't get the sense that Tyrion could have avoided those questions if he wanted to. Additionally, Tyrion would have a Sixth Amendment right to an attorney being present throughout this entire ordeal, because we don't expect members of the public to be able to defend themselves in a court of law without the help of an advocate like a lawyer. And here he has no attorney to act as an intermediary, and he makes these statements that are somewhat inflammatory and could get him into trouble.
The Crown may call its first witness.
Once we'd got King Joffrey safely away from the mob, the imp rounded on him. He slapped the king across the face and called him a vicious idiot and a fool. It wasn't the first time the imp threatened Joffrey. Right here, in this throne room, he marched up those steps and called our king a halfwit, compared his grace to the mad king and suggested he'd meet the same fate. And when I spoke in the king's defense, he threatened to have me killed.
Okay, so you might assume that these statements by Tyrion qualify as hearsay and therefore can't be used against Tyrion in a court of law. However, it's important to know that hearsay is an out-of-court statement used for the truth of the matter asserted. They are trying to establish that he actually said these things and had a motive to kill King Joffrey. So that is sort of the truth of the statement at issue, that he thought the king was a vicious idiot and a fool. So the question is, can those statements come in? Well, one of the exceptions to the hearsay rule is generally the admission by a party opponent or a party admission exception to the hearsay rule. And under that rule, you are allowed to use hearsay statements where the statement is ostensibly made by a party to the litigation, or a party in this case to the criminal proceeding, and is adverse to that party. And here they are using a statement of Tyrion's, who is a party to the litigation. He is the defendant, and it is adverse to his interests. So that statement is allowed to come in. Generally, the admission by a party exception exists because you can cross-examine the declarant because they're a party to the proceedings. The big problem, at least historically, with hearsay is that it's an out-of-court statement where you could not cross-examine the declarant. But where the declarant is available, you are allowed to bring in their out-of-court statements through other witnesses. So in this particular case, I think the party admission exception would apply, and they would be able to use Tyrion's statements against him in this proceeding.
Alright, what's going on, people? Let me see. Camera. Alright, let me pull up the chat. Of course, everything happens as soon as I am... There's multi-chat, so I can see both chats at once. Diamond, hi. Hey, what's going on? Mark, Wave, what's going on? Cleft, I know, but that's literally happening as I'm in the middle of setting all of this up. I can't jump on it immediately. Chill. Like, I am going to get to it as soon as possible. Thank you. Full transparency, my birthday was on Tuesday, but today was a 72-hour work week, so I haven't got a chance to do anything yet. The plan was to do the birthday stream Tuesday night once I got off of work. Then someone called out, I got stuck with it. Then I tried to do it Wednesday, and things kept happening. So we are here today. Right now I'm just deleting some messages from the Discord. Someone posted get a $50 gift card on Steam, which everyone knows is fake, but people still click it, which is why they get hacked like this guy did. For a sec, I thought I got on a different channel. Yeah. Eins, I have no idea. I only play on mobile. So I don't know how good the PC client is or not. I do know that there is an innate advantage to playing on PC versus mobile, because you can do your swaps and stuff with a single button, instead of having to drop down and click. And yeah, I like to have a YouTube video playing in the background while I'm setting up the stream. Let's see here. I don't know what to do with the... Let me see. Let me go to the questions. So on my Discord, I have a channel called Kiger Birthday Questions. And let me change this. And then get rid of that. There we go. Less stuff going on. And people have asked questions over the course of the month. I've answered a couple, but I'm going to be answering all of them in this video. Yeah, there's questions right there. I'm going to be answering my birthday questions. That's going to be its own thing. Then I am going to... Well, we will decide as a group once that's done if we want to do the PvP reactions. I have a couple that I would like to do. And it's up to the community if they would like to see it as well or not. Or next we will do the community class tier lists. But we will decide once we get there. Starting with my birthday questions, and feel free to ask more in the Kiger birthday questions over on the Discord or here in the chat, and I'll be answering them as we go. Raiden, are you single? Yes. Thank you, Naya VR, for the happy birthday. Yes, I'm single. I have been for a little over 3 years now. Top 5 favorite bands. Most of the ones for me are going to be the ones that I listened to a lot in late middle school, early high school. Growing up, I wasn't able to listen to music. My father listened to nothing but country, which is all I ever listened to. And I went over to a buddy's house to play on his Xbox. And his father, some kind of doctor, and he had music CDs. And we grabbed those CDs and put it on the Xbox to listen to them. And that's literally how I learned about Linkin Park, which ends up being one of my favorites. You'll see later on in these questions, I do enjoy karaoke. My voice can only do a certain range, which is why some of my favorite bands are ones that are in my vocal range, like Panic at the Disco, Shine Down, things like that. Apple or orange juice? Apple juice. Any pets? No, I don't currently have a pet. I work too many hours, and there are random hours to really know. I obviously can't have a dog, because the dogs you have to walk them pretty often. Han, how old? I turned 35 on Tuesday. What was it? I can't have a dog right now because it needs to be walked. I could have a an iguana. I could have a cat or something. It's just I'm not ready right now until I get my next job transition, which should be coming pretty soon, sometime this year. But I did have a dog growing up. Her name was Zimba because as a kid I didn't care about sex or whatnot, like the sex of a dog. So I just called them whatever my favorite dog type thing was. Longest relationship, 2.5 years. Favorite food, it's a toss-up between chili or ribs. Will I return back to my goth era? In college, I did some goth modeling. And people have seen some pictures of it and enjoyed it and want to see it. I think I might do something like that as like a special stream or something. That's possible. Spirit in the chat, do I work as a developer? No. I do management at a security company. So I speak with a bunch of companies, and if we are talking about getting that property, I'll do a security check of the property with them, do a walk around, tell them what I think the security flaws are with their property and what I think we need. Most of them end up being 2 or 3 officers during the day shift, 2 or 3 officers during the afternoon shift, and 1 to 2 officers in the night shift, just to make sure the stuff is fine. And if any of my officers fuck up, they call me and complain to me, and then I have to retrain that officer. Unta's favorite cake, I enjoy cookie cake. Chocolate chip cookie cake. Pineapple on pizza, I don't care one way or another. I actually prefer... Really, there's 2 types that I enjoy. I enjoy meat lovers, with the different types of meats on it. Or Supreme, a little bit of everything. But I have a story, and I'm going to, as they come up, interject stories on things like this. Just to give you guys more information about me, my history, stuff like that. As far as the pizza... when I was in high school, I would go to the mall 3 days a week, and there was a DDR machine. Some of our friend group would be playing the DDR machine. The other of the group would be playing Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game, right there on the ground while we're waiting on our turn or whatnot. And then after the mall closed, I lived the furthest away, so I had to bike to the mall after school. But after that, we would go to a pizza shop called Gumby's. It literally had Gumby, the super old 70s or 80s show on the wall, and we knew the guy who owned it because we went at least twice a week to the pizza shop, and we made up our own pizza order, and we called it Stoner's Pie. It's going to sound exactly what it sounds like. It was a large pepperoni pizza. Under every piece of pepperoni, there was a piece of ham, so you got 2 immediately right there, and Canadian bacon, so like the strip bacon, sprinkled across with chopped up mozzarella sticks and French fries on the pizza. That was crazy. Naya, Yu-Gi-Oh! Peak card game, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's good. I don't really like where it's at right now, but it's still good. Dana, happy birthday, thank you very much. Any allergies? No allergies, but I do dislike olives and tomatoes. With olives, I generally dislike all of them. With tomatoes, it's just like a regular tomato. Wait, this happen again? Literally again. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Someone... Oh, you can see what I'm doing. That's right. So you see that I have to delete these. Wait, they're still in here? Normally they post a bunch and then leave. On mobile, you can just do a... when you delete one, if they're still around, it'll let you delete all their messages in the last hour, last 3 hours, whatnot. But I didn't see that option for the PC client, because right now I'm over at my laptop that I use for work. Man, they went through and tried to post everything twice. Sorry, guys. Of course, I haven't had any of these post all week, and it is posting literally in the middle of my stream. Happy birthday from Philippines. Thank you, Mark. Let me see. I'm going to finish deleting these, and then I will get back to the stories and such. Holy crap. Of course, this happens right when I'm in the middle of doing a stream. Delete. Okay, it looks like, oh, some of them they did 1, some of them they did 2. Alright, we're down to the last couple right here, guys. I apologize. I don't want someone clicking on it and then end up being another issue. Okay. And that's everything. Now back to birthday questions. Got there. Okay, there we are. Have I tried Soulland New World? Ren, no, I have not. I am familiar with what game you're talking about, and that is, I believe, still Southeast Asia exclusive. So I cannot play it. I was sort of interested in Crystal Vatland, but the gameplay is not to my liking. It is cool that they're having a One Punch Man collaboration soon. Okay, like I said, no allergies. I dislike all olives and tomatoes. I dislike regular, just like an actual tomato or tomato slices, but something like ketchup or whatnot I'm fine with. Heavy metal or pop punk? I don't know what pop punk is. If this is something like Taylor Swift or whatnot, then I'm more heavy metal type. EDM, which is the music with no words, all sounds, which is fine. I generally prefer lyrics, but I mean, if it's a good beat's always good. Scared of heights? Not really. After a certain height, I think everyone's a little bit scared of heights. Any phobias? I don't really like snakes or spiders. Ever been stalked? Yeah, in college I had a crazy ex-girlfriend. Scariest thing to ever happen to you? That's, in my current line of work, this is impossible to answer. Insecurity. Weird shit happens almost every day. I think last 4th of July, I had to I was going to several properties to lock up pool areas, and I found these two overweight women in the jacuzzi area, and they were pretty much passed out drunk. This isn't scary, obviously. It's just weird stuff that happens at my job. And one of them couldn't walk, so I had to escort them to their apartment, and that was, oh my god. If I had $1 million, how would I spend it? You're not going to like my answer. I would pay off a small house, put the rest into a mix of CDs as well as high yield interest portfolio, and just live off of the dividends. Yeah, I saw it when Soulland first came out, but I can't play it because it's only on Southeast Asia. Biggest regret, it's hard to really say. It's either going to be something about some kind of connection, like a friend I may have wronged in middle or high school, not talking more with family members before they passed, things like that. Have I ever broken the law? Yes. There's a saying that you, on average, break the law 3 times a day, and you may not even know about it. What's the worst is, like, let's say the American flag. Just to raise and lower the American flag has so many issues that if you mess them up, you can be held in contempt. Or even treason in some situations. You can all... flag can only be raised during daytime. If you have any other flags like state flags or property flags, the American flag has to be higher than all of them, half-mast on specific days. They cannot be overnight unless you have proper lighting in the area, stuff like this. That's with my job, I have to know all that stupid stuff. But when I was 6 or 7, I did take some candy from a dollar store, and my dad had me go back in, return it, pay for it, and grounded me. And that's mostly it. Place I would love to visit, Germany, because I took German in high school. I can't really speak it right now, but I am able to understand it when spoken. Favorite meal? I think I already answered that above. Chili or ribs. What do I do when I'm bored? Well, I work on video ideas for you guys. I play the mobile games. I listen to podcasts or audiobooks. I watch speed runs of old games, like the old Pokemon games, and things like that. Watch anime, read manga and manhwa, workout, karaoke, stuff like this. Morning or night, I like the nights better, but actually I have a very interesting body in the fact that I can sleep generally whenever I feel like it. I learned early college some breathing techniques, and they're meant to increase or lower your heart rate, and that's the two things that will help you fall asleep faster, is lowering your heart rate and cooling your head. if your head gets under a certain temperature, it creates the what's it called? Melatonin in your head to help you fall asleep. And if you decrease your breathing rate, it also helps with sleep. I also know how to increase heart rate with breathing so that I can stay awake during my 16 to 20 hour shifts. Captino, happy birthday. It was in fact on Tuesday, but I mean, I'm celebrating it today with you guys. And I have a cupcake over there I'll have later. Just relaxing. If I had one wish, what would that be? This is the kind of question where there's a million of answers, so you can't ever actually pick one. And I don't want to just ignore it because of something like that. I want to actually engage with what they're trying to ask here. If I had a wish, what would it be? Probably all the racism. Just back in time, and either just make everyone the same color, so that's not a thing. Because I get it, the closer you are to the equator, the darker your skin is. At least over time, this is something our bodies did figure out over time. We adapted, and that's why the pigment in your skin helps you deal with the heat. That's why me with the lighter skin and red hair, I actually get heat rashes if I get too hot. I have to be careful when I go to the beach and stuff. But just the amount of just flat racism. You even see it in game. When I went over to, when I tried playing on the Southeast Asia SEA region, I tried playing on there, and on day 3, you open up the marriage system, and on day 1 on new servers, because a lot of the people are server hoppers, so they know it's coming, and I'll see in the chat, looking for Pinoy female only. And then I'll see guilds saying this specific race only, this specific race only. And it isn't just on the Southeast Asia region, but it's actually pretty common. You'll see the all over the place stuff like that. And I just want to talk to people. Let's see. What are my hobbies? I answered that earlier. What age did I start working? I started working at 17 at a dollar store, Dollar General. And even though they have you on their thing, you have to be 18. They let me sign a thing with my father so that I could work it as long as my grades didn't suffer. Ever have a crush? I mean, depends on what you mean by crush. If you mean, did I find people attractive? Yeah, I mean, obviously there's pretty girls in school and whatnot. But someone that I actually liked and didn't attempt anything with? 2 or 3. Mostly middle and high school. What was my dream car? I don't generally care much about cars, which is kind of weird because my father worked on cars for a living. But I do like the Camaro that my father had. What or who motivates me? in life and what I do, not really sure the question, but family always molds you. Nature and nurture is always a thing. I write poetry on occasion. Edgar Allan Poe was my favorite, so I try to go after his stuff. My aunt was a big thing for me. She taught me a lot of cool, valuable stuff. A big thing from her that I think most people can learn from is when you're talking or writing, try not to use the same word multiple times in the same sentence. Just think about it, right? The English language has so many words that mean roughly the same thing. Why are you using the same word over and over, right? So that's something that helped me with my writing over the years is if I used a word in a sentence, I can't use that word again. And you'll notice that will help you out a lot. Oh, this is okay. So all right, I'm going to answer this bottom part, and then I'm going to do this top part, because this top part is going to be a big thing. Do I plan on doing Legends of Neverland Contact until the game closes? Yes, unless there's some updates I don't like, then I'll obviously not play it. As the game is progressing right now, I do feel comfortable playing and creating content for it as the game goes. So I did the Twitch now. Is that something in the future? I am currently streaming on Twitch as well, and the purpose of the Twitch is generally to do the campaigns, which you'll see right above my head. That does pay me, and I'm using that money, the exact money from this, to go into the costume contests on my Discord. Now, this, some of you may not be aware of, and this is my dark history in TLON. So strap in. Do I regret what happened back then when you were still ACC? That's official content creator. If you're unaware, if you go to the official Discord and you go to creator video, you'll pretty much only see GD, and then once in a while when a big patch happens, you'll see one or two others. Where's she at? Yeah, Moonlit, you'll see them there. But if you check this, you have to go back pretty far. Let me see, way back in the beginning. Screenshots, open guide. If you scroll back really far in the creator video, you'll see I was a official content creator. They were giving me codes and stuff to just give out to my community. That no longer happens, and I'll talk about the problem in a minute. Would I have handled things differently? Do I feel their choice was unfair to remove me from the CC program? Now, to explain what happened, I was doing a series which I didn't make any videos for, but I was working on it. I wanted to see if I could play on a different server and pretend not to be Kiger and see how people treated me based on just my gameplay and attitude. I did that, and after a while, 2 or 3 people put it together who I was, and one person approached me to get married in the game. I said yes. We did that. It got to be like an online dating thing at the time. And we'd be sending pictures back and forth. And turns out they were too young. I did not know. That was really bad. And after that ended with her, well, before I started talking to her, I was a bit of what we call here in the West a fuck boy. I was talking to a bunch of girls. And that's how that worked. I talked to a bunch of girls. I pretended to not be Kiger. And one of the girls I was talking to ended up being underage. Now, this is why I don't get married in game. This is why I don't do DMs with most people. This is why I don't want anything like that ever again. This made me crash out a bit. They instantly removed me from the CC program without a chance to talk about it. They blocked me, a whole bunch of stuff, and that was the end of it. I took a break from TLON. I went to therapy. Now that whole fuckboy stuff isn't for me. But what's done is done. Would I have done things differently? Yeah. Just like with work, you don't. The quote is, "You don't shit where you eat." If you're working there, you don't make any kind of romantic attraction or whatnot. If I want to meet someone, I should be going to a bar, dating site, what have you, which is what I do now. That's really hard to talk about, but most of that information is out there already, so you can find that yourself. I apologize if you no longer want to watch me because of that. I understand. It is something in my past, and it will always come back up. But this is why I don't marry anyone in game. I don't accept DMs, things like this. First console I ever bought, my father bought me the Game Boy Color when it came out, but the first one I bought for myself was the PlayStation 2. First game I ever played, I believe it was Final Fantasy VI with my uncle, but by myself it would have been Pokemon Blue version on the Game Boy that they got me. One thing people misunderstand about me, I think the way that I talk ends up making people think I'm either super high and mighty or very short, like mad all the time. Not true. Just I have 3 to 4 things always on my mind, and that's just how things come across. Travel in time, what's one piece of advice I would give myself? What we talked about before, don't be a fuckboy. If you could participate in one historical event, what would it be? Either the signing of the Declaration of Independence, I think that would be really cool to see, or the Tea Party would be some really cool things. One thing I would change about the world, I answered that earlier about the skin color thing. If I could become the developer of TLON, what class would I put in and why? I think I would really like to see a true tank class. Gladiator does pretty fine, but one that like forces people to attack you and such, I would love to see that. If I become a character in TLON, what class would you prefer? Either swordsman, or Lancer. If I was the developer of TLON, would I put in the luck stat? Yes or no? No. The games that I've seen that have done this, it tends to work out poorly. What was it? Diablo 4 tried this, and it was a total shit show. Why is Lucifer my admin in the Discord server? He doesn't do much, but he helps me with some titles and stuff. Sounds like a potential Spec 1 Knight. Hopefully full tank, whatever we get that year, yeah. I answered a couple of the questions. I answered about if I was single or not. And the question right here, what is my ideal type? What do I look for in a partner? Someone I can travel with. I do enjoy traveling. A couple years ago, I got in an RV with two buddies, went around the U.S., United States, checking out waterfalls. That was really interesting. We also checked out some springs here in Florida. There were a lot of things in my own quote-unquote backyard that I did not expect to see. It was a very interesting time. But someone that would try new food places with me. Someone just here for each other, like if I'm having a bad day, someone I can talk to. Someone I can have an intellectual conversation with. Someone who doesn't mind my long hours. And just plan a life together. More answers. What I do for hobbies, I answered that. You can sing. Yes, I do karaoke, but like I said, I can only do a particular vocal range. And that is it for the questions. I'm sorry, guys, if that was a little too much, especially towards the end. And it's up to you guys. I don't have anything pulled up just yet. I need to block this out for just a second. Make sure I didn't miss anything. How much reply? IO video. Prior. Make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Oh, that didn't send. There we go. Alright, guys. So, let me bring that back up. Now, would we like... Let me bring this up, make sure I see everything. Lower that. My channel... Oh, you're on YouTube talking. Okay. 8 people watching. Please leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. That would help me out a lot. It's up to you guys. I have another hour left. We can either do a community class tier list, or we can do some PvP reactions. Up to you all. I'm going to start bringing up... I need to close this. And I'm going to start bringing up the PvP stuff if we decide to do that, as well as the class stuff if we decide to do that. Let me see. Video. That's Guild Boss. Where's the one I was looking for? But let me know in the chat, guys. Do you want to see... You want to see... Das wants to see PvP. Let me see. Let me find the right one for this. Okay, check the channel. Top League, Burning Soul. Top League. Top League. Burning Soul. Okay. 8 months ago, 7 months ago. Okay, I have 3 right here that are super recent. PvP, fight, fight, fight. Okay. Let me set this up. Alright. So, one of the top EU players, CP-wise... Oh. Yeah, there we go. It froze for a second. One of the top players for EU, Brie, has made a YouTube channel 1 year ago. But we have 3 that are within the last month. We have Top League, Burning Soul, Top League. And I'll do them in order. Okay, let's see. Let's set this up where it's proper for you guys to see everything. There we go. Make myself out of the way. Alright. There we go. And let me set one thing up over here, and then we're going to jump right into it. Where's it at? Let me find it. Alright, there it is. We're almost ready. Two, three, 4, 5. Okay. That means I can close that. Open this so I can see you guys better. Alright guys, we are streaming over on YouTube and Twitch. Here we're going to be doing the, on EU we have Brie, EU number 1. We're going to be doing 3 videos that he has done. I will be leaving the link to his channel down below. But we're going to look at his Top League finals from a couple weeks ago. Then we're going to be looking at his most recent Burning Soul finals. And then this last week's Top League finals. Let's get into it. So looking at the match, 10, 12, 12.6, 16, 9 and 5. So those two are about even. Those two are about, and these two are about even. And there's about a 1 million difference is all I'm really seeing here. There's some slight differences, but really the two teams are pretty even. Oh, everyone left besides, oh, it's a one-on-one. Okay, so let's see, one-on-one. Cat. Alright, so we're using Cat immediately. What this gives us, if he has the red things, which he obviously does, is going to be the barrier as well as some reflect damage. What he does not get is he doesn't get the dodge refreshes, which could be a lot more. So we'll see how this fares out. We're throwing abilities at each other. Boom, boom. Using the passive auto attack reset for more damage, as well as stacks on our passive, and using the exact skills that I recommend for PvP. Waiting until he's locked into an animation to use the triple shot, very, very good. Boom, Tenacity Ball and Bird are our primary damage. Can't move. Boom. Stop it. Throw. Oh, stood in the ball pretty bad. Up 1, 2. We got stopped in the third shot. That's why you want to make sure they can't move. You can either do the 1-2 combo for cannot move and then get them with the triple shot. But we got caught on that third hit. Tenacity Ball, he got hit by it, got the heal off. Oh, we stood in the ninja. The wave that you just saw come through is the Blazing Owl Chi second ability where you can throw it out. It does decently high damage, but it also heals you. So he got Asmodai here, got a pretty good heal off of that. Used another heal and Star Blessing right there. He has a lot of passive healing coming in. But he took the triple shot to the mouth. Tenacity Ball hit like a truck. Boom, boom. And this is a pretty clear win. It looks like the difference maker here came down to, my guess is crit immunity from the Ranger class advancements. Ranger is also really good into as an against Ninja, because Ninja does all these abilities that kind of lock them in place, put down the area, do the pull, omnidirectional, aerial aces, dashing around. It does a bunch of moving around, which locks you into place effectively, so the triple shot has an easier time hitting. Boom, boom. Okay. Stood in that. And that is a huge deal. The knock up ignore from the Never Miss does a lot of work there. Boom, boom, boom. Immediately triple shot. There we go. He did use a dodge on the third hit. The triple shot does 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. And that one that at the end that does the one hit does like half the damage. Ooh, they got a nice combo on us there. We took the full omnidirectional. This is just turning into roughly the same as the last match. He took the full all of it without using a dodge, and then used a dodge on a Cold Firebird. Okay. Now we're kind of just waiting on cooldowns. So we got double crit up, and then this should be a lot of yeah, that should be the kill. 3 million damage, 2.75 million damage. Now let's check the Burning Soul finals. This is 41 seconds. Let me make sure this is sized properly for us. Boom. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, I didn't look at the CP. Same matchup. We're both using Holy. He's using Albedo. This is 3 weeks ago, so this would have been before the Albedo changes to allow her to work. But in top league. But this is Burning Soul, so it's fine. She does work. We are on block, so Albedo becomes very, very good here, because you take more damage if you don't block, and a whole lot less if you do block. Boom. Ooh. Man. So I'm going to run this back. Okay. Star Blessing. Immediately 1-2. And then the swap. Now what's interesting here is, even though he already cast a fairy skill, if you do it quick enough, Snakeberry will boost the damage of the fairy that you already cast, because it says when you swap fairies, it increases the damage of the next. So you need to 1-2 immediately 1-2 to get it, and then she also increases her own, but already dead just from Urza and the fuck. Okay. Just from Urza and Butterfly. Butterfly Orchid did 90% of the damage. Boom. Double. He seems like the opponent's not trying to dodge here, or just figures that he can't. My guess is Bree has a lot of graft going towards fairy damage, which is why this ended up just OHKOing. Well, that was quick. And let's do the most recent 13 days ago finals. This is the same matchup. Boom, boom, boom. Same skills. Everyone's playing roughly the same. I'm not seeing anything super different here. Same strategy. Same gameplay. Let me see. Same skills all the way through. This time he's playing more keep away. That's something. And boom. Alright. We don't need to see the rest of this. That would be it. Damn. Okay. So that's it for Bree. Let me close this. And then happy birthday, Kiger, and thank you so much for your channel. Thank DDSD. And I'm going to look at one more. Actually, guys, my food just got here. It was not supposed to be here for another 30 minutes, and I was going to do other stuff, but I am going to have to let you guys go. I'm going to try to do another one tomorrow, maybe. We'll see how that goes. Thanks anyone that showed up to the stream and the birthday wishes. I appreciate a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the answers to your questions and